This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael, I'm not dead yet, and I've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, a medieval period comedy from 1975, directed by Terry Gilliam and Terry Jones. The film is a retelling of the classic legends of King Arthur, his Knights of the Round Table, and the search for the Holy Grail, but with much of the majesty and mythicism removed and replaced with a whole smattering of absurdist tangents, anachronisms, and non sequiturs which pit King Arthur and his knights against unruly peasantry, enemy Frenchmen, and even an animated beast. Simply put, anything that can happen has a strong chance of doing so, but for the most part it still follows the classic story. Being comedy-driven, though, the story takes a back seat in favor of the antics and jokes. There's still a narrative through line that is followed, but it's more of a framework around which the film's many jokes are built upon. In all, the film is more of a collection of skits, connected loosely but still plotted out in a sensible manner. It helps that the film as a whole is essentially built around its gags, with concepts introduced at the start of the film that end up sprinkled throughout the rest of it, keeping the humor tight while still having room open for new gags to be introduced. There's also an excellent sense of timing and pacing within the individual scenes that keep things moving at a natural speed while packed with comedic content. The technical aspects of Monty Python and the Holy Grail almost seem to betray the humor and comedy, although in another sense they only add to it. There's a starkness to the film's setting, very drab and gray, not at all as majestic as most medieval fantasy makes such story out as being. Cinematography shows off how foggy the landscape is, vast and empty and heightened by wide shots that show the scope of the countryside and the poverty of the villages and even the other kingdoms visited throughout the film. It's a bit of a satirical take on royalty in a way, in that for all of King Arthur's showboating, he doesn't have much to show in the way of proof of his royalty, other than introducing himself as a king and going on this quest. It's even a bit telling how Arthur is able to round up his knights and go to Camelot, only to abandon it for being nothing like he expected. There's quite a bit to the film that's along this satirical vibe, not for the sake of making an overt message, but to continue adding layers of comedy to the story. A lot of the movie will shirk any deeper analysis or even basic storytelling in favor of drawing laughter from viewers. And this is more or less how to go about watching the film, really. You just have to expect everything to be against your expectations. Then again, if you expect the unexpected, then it's now expected. So expect the expected, I guess? I don't know. It's late here. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Terry Gilliam, Terry Jones, 1975. 4.5 stars. I'd very much recommend giving it a watch. Anyways, that's it for me here. If you like this review, please leave it a like. If you have something else to add, leave a comment below. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel for more reviews later on. I gotta start waking up earlier. I also have to try not to get distracted when writing these reviews. One minute I'm on a roll, the next I'm busy making lunch for myself. I need to learn how to focus.